or your mobile device. You could say that the files or the device are kidnapped. Once that happens, you must pay ransom to the bad guys to get your files back or your device unlocked. For employees, the risk is amplified. That's because not only can ransomware encrypt the files on your personal workstation, but it can then worm its way across your organization's entire network and encrypt all of the files it finds. One infected user can bring an entire organization to a screeching halt, like in recent real-life cases where major law firms and hospitals have had all of their client and patient files encrypted and had to go back to pen and paper in order to do business. If you're hit by ransomware, you'll see a screen demanding that you pay a fee in a so-called electronic or e-currency, like Bitcoin, to unlock your files. Most ransoms start at approximately $500, but in some cases, they have gone into the millions. Ransom demands usually include a 1-week deadline. If the ransom isn't paid by then, the price goes up. If the ransom is paid, the cybercriminals provide a key. The key unlocks or decrypts the infected computer files, and the kidnapping is over. First place, and most importantly, what can you do to protect yourself and your organization from a ransomware attack? The answers start with understanding the potential threats. We've enlisted a veteran cyber task force cop to help. He'll introduce you to a lineup of criminal characters his task force has been tracking and fill you in on their specialties. Let's meet him now.
Here you go. Fisherman Frank, Thomas the Texter, Isabel Instant, Robocall Robbie, Susie Social, and the Ghost. Let me tell you, my task force has been after this dirty half-dozen for months. They cost companies big-time money and cause big-time embarrassment for lots of innocent employees along the way, too. Now's your chance to check them out. It's orientation time, people. Click to Fisherman Frank. Phishing is a technique where hackers use phony emails sent either to specific individuals or a large group of people. These messages are designed to trick you into clicking on a link or opening an infected attachment. We just broke a case where the ransomware was in an attachment disguised as a job candidate's resume. The fake message might look like it's from an organization or person that you know, but listen up. If in doubt, throw it out. SMS phishing is a technique where text messages are sent to get you to click on a link or enter your personal information. Ransomware that targets Android and iOS-based phones and tablets often uses this method to infect users. Once your device is infected, certain ransomware strains will send smishing messages to your contact list to try to infect them too. Yeah, that's right. You're sharing the sickness without even knowing it. Can't tell you how many cases we've seen where messages look like they're coming from your bank or phone service provider, but yikes, they are ransomware. So take it from me. Having some healthy skepticism when you get a text is a good thing. Others are frequently hacked by cybercriminals. Say you're the victim. You receive a message that's only an image link. Maybe it's something that looks cute. Aw, puppies. The sender of the message is usually someone on your contact list who, by the way, doesn't even know the message was sent. So you click the link, which sends you to a fake YouTube site where you are then directed to download a special YouTube app. But it's really ransomware. This type has this neat little trick too. It starts sending out the same link to everyone in your contact list. So much for only wanting to watch puppies. So yeah, on second thought, don't say hello. Say goodbye. A number or entering information using your phone, like a voicemail PIN code or even a credit card number. I know what you're thinking. You got caller ID, right? Think again. The phone numbers they call from are often electronically forged to look like they come from a legitimate source. They call this spoofing. So you call them back and speak to someone who will give you instructions to help you fix a computer or mobile phone problem you didn't know you had. As you follow the instructions, you're installing the ransomware on your own device. Yeah, these schemes sound like they'd be easy to spot, but cybercriminals can sound very professional. They often use a call center or have sound effects in the background so that they seem legit, and they are often very targeted to an individual or organization. The fact that they know a lot of information about you makes it easy to trust them. But take my advice. Be rude, people. Don't call back. And do not use your phone to enter confidential information. Social posts can be used to entice an unsuspecting victim into clicking on a link. Here's how it goes.
You see a post and click on a thumbnail of an image, but it doesn't display the image in a separate window, as you might expect to happen. Instead, the file automatically downloads. As you know, it's a natural response to open the image file. So you do, and then whammo, ransomware. Yeah, sometimes being social is anything but friendly. It doesn't have any witnesses. Drive-by attacks place malicious software into online ads or images on websites. We've seen it in videos, weather maps, ads for legit products, and more. That's right, you are an innocent bystander in this one, but your web browser is the accessory to crime in this case. The only thing you did was wind up on that web page, either by choice or you got redirected there. Talk about being an innocent victim, right? Moving on. Now you've met them all, and every one of them can spell disaster for you and your employer. But I've got to tell you, there's one of them that you are much more likely to meet up with. It's Fisherman Frank. And you know why that is? It's because 91% of cyber attacks start with a phishing email. Yeah, thanks for nothing, Frank. But here's the deal. Once you've got his number, you can make sure his cyber hook doesn't reel you in. So keep going. You're going to learn how to not become fish food. And believe me, your awareness will make my job just a little bit easier. Consider yourself deputized.
Thanks for sharing the real good. Hackers who specialize in phishing have mastered the craft of tricking people into thinking an email is real. It's what's called social engineering, using deception to manipulate you into revealing confidential or personal information that may be used for fraudulent purposes. So that's why it's critical that you equip yourself to recognize the social engineering red flags that can be found in an email. This short exercise shows you what to look for. In addition, be sure to download the Social Engineering Red Flags document located in the Resources tab. It makes a handy reference. Date. Be aware of date and time. If you receive an email that you would normally get during normal business hours, but it was sent at 3 a.m. or on a Sunday morning, this is a red flag. Subject. Note the subject line. If the subject line of an email is irrelevant or doesn't match the message content, it's a red flag. Or if it's a reply to something you never sent or requested, it's a definite red flag. An example is an email with a subject line that says, "Receipt for iPhone 7, but you never ordered one." Body of email. Take a close look at the content of the email. If the sender is asking you to click on a link or open an attachment, be on high alert. And even more importantly, if you are being asked to click on a link or open an attachment in order to avoid a negative consequence, don't do it. This is a favorite trick of hackers, so don't fall for it. The same is true if the email is asking you to look at an embarrassing picture of yourself or someone you know. If you have an uncomfortable feeling or it just seems odd or illogical, it's a red flag. 2. Check out the list of recipients. If you were sent or CC'd on an email and you don't know the other people it was sent to, it's a red flag. If there is an unusual mix of recipients, or it was sent to a random group of people at your organization whose last names all start with the same letter, watch out. This is a red flag. Links. Hyperlinks are another big red flag. Look at them closely. Watch for misspellings in the link. For example, if your bank is Bank of America, but you receive a link from something like www.bankofamerica.com, the M is really 2 characters, R and N, and it's designed for you not to notice if you glance at it quickly. Here's a pro tip. Hover your mouse over the hyperlink, but don't click on it. The real link address will be revealed. If it is a website that's different than the hyperlink, this is a big red flag. If the email only contains hyperlinks and no text, it's another red flag. Attachments. Attachments are a biggie. Any attachment you receive that you aren't expecting is a red flag. Be aware that any attachment other than a .txt file is a potentially dangerous file. From. Take a close look at who the email is from. An email coming from a stranger is an obvious red flag. Another one is if you know the sender, but the email seems odd or out of character, such as your manager sending a link to a diet aid. Remember to refer to the Social Engineering Red Flags resource. It includes a full list of from line red flags.